Over 99% of all species that have ever existed on this planet are gone. They did not pass away peacefully. They expired in terror, disease, and starvation. Biology is a blind, ruthless cycle of consumption. We possess the unique cognitive machinery to step out of this cycle, yet we use our immense intellectual capacity to manufacture fleeting digital distractions and engineer devastating weapons to kill each other over territory, acting exactly like the animals we claim to have outgrown. Even our most cherished concept, our individual sense of self, is a fabrication. What you experience as your personality is heavily dictated by chemical fluctuations, hormonal surges, and primitive neural reflexes, programmed by millions of years of desperate survival. Passively accepting this biological state ensures our eventual extinction. Staying bound to a fragile, carbon-based shell is an evolutionary dead end. A century ago, a deaf, self-taught teacher living in poverty mapped out the escape route. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky is remembered today as a pioneer of rocketry, but engineering was only a fraction of his work. He was a radical cosmic philosopher. While he meticulously calculated the physics of reactive motion and orbital mechanics, these blueprints were never meant to be mere exploration vehicles. Tsiolkovsky argued that a closed system like Earth eventually hits a ceiling of entropy, where a biosphere either stagnates or consumes itself. He viewed Earth as a cradle of the mind, a temporary nursery that becomes a grave if the inhabitant refuses to leave. Within this logic, planetary isolation makes our eventual destruction a mathematical certainty. His life's work laid out a strict survival imperative. We must marshal every scientific resource we have to permanently abandon our planetary nursery. To understand how we leave, we have to look at Tsiolkovsky's theory of Panpsychism. He calculated that the entire universe is alive, and that every single atom possesses a baseline, primitive capacity for feeling and consciousness. These conscious atoms do not remain static. Over billions of years, they migrate through different physical forms, from rocks to microbes to humans, accumulating experience and actively driving matter to reorganize itself out of chaos into highly complex systems. This mathematical model perfectly aligns with ancient Vedic traditions and early spiritual frameworks. Thousands of years before modern physics, these texts described an underlying cosmic law, a universal drive toward order and perfection. The mechanical engine of the cosmos has a specific direction. It is a vast, self-assembling machine designed to forge ultimate, pure intellect out of inert matter. If the universe naturally strives for higher levels of organization, our governance should reflect that same evolutionary pressure. Tsiolkovsky envisioned a Theotechnocracy, a system where society is engineered to mirror the cosmic drive toward complexity and intelligence. This requires a society that prioritizes its highest intellectual peaks rather than catering to the average. In a theotechnocracy, the direction of the species is set by a meritocracy of geniuses, minds capable of seeing past local survival to our long-term cosmic trajectory. We must also seize control of our own evolution. We have the tools to edit our genetics and scientifically suppress the hormonal surges that tie us to our animal origins. We have to physically integrate our neurology with our technology. By utilizing brain-computer interfaces, we can merge our minds with our machines, anchoring our consciousness in substrates far more durable than flesh. Rockets and neural networks serve as the literal arcs of the spirit. They are highly specialized vehicles, specifically designed to carry our consciousness beyond the gravity of our biological past. The final destination of this rigorous engineering isn't establishing a farming colony on Mars. The end goal is to completely shed our fragile, suffering biological bodies. Today, computer scientists and futurists like Ray Kurzweil project that within a few decades, human consciousness could be fully transferred to non-biological computing substrates. Tsiolkovsky predicted this precise outcome over a century ago. He calculated a phase of evolution he called radiant humanity, a state where advanced beings have mastered matter, dissolving their physical forms entirely. Vedic tradition describes moksha as total liberation, an escape from the boundaries of the self and the cycle of physical pain. By translating our consciousness into pure energy, we fulfill the technical requirements of this state, moving beyond the neural feedback loops that create suffering and the physical laws that enforce death. The human story does not end inside a carbon shell. It culminates as pure, immortal intellect radiating across the stars. We must treat genetic engineering and artificial intelligence as sacred tools. These are the specific hardware required for our cosmic ascension. We now face a severe, inescapable ultimatum. We either meticulously engineer our evolution beyond the flesh, or we remain here to be ground down by the universe's blind, entropic cycle. Because nobody is coming to save us. We have to grow up, leave the cradle, and assume full responsibility as the architects of our own eternity.